There's a new push to put a stop to career politicians in Washington, and an Indiana lawmaker who represents parts of 21 country is helping lead it. WTHR reporter Dustin Grove looks into how exactly that works and the momentum now growing across the country.
For too long, we've seen members of Congress go out there and really make a living and a career out of being a politician.
So State Senator Andy Zay wants Indiana to join the national movement to add term limits in Congress. That would require changing the U.S. Constitution. By design, no easy feat, but experts say there are two ways to do it.
The first is for Congress to propose an amendment that the states then have to ratify. Now, with congressional term limits, everybody assumes that Congress will never propose an amendment that limits their own terms.
Which brings us to the second option. Instead of Congress amending the Constitution for the states to approve, the states could initiate the change through a constitutional convention. But to hold that convention, at least 34 state legislatures would need to sign on.
Basically, this would be the first constitutional convention that we've had in the United States since the first one in 1787 that gave us the Constitution.
And that's what Senator Zay is aiming to do. He knows it's an uphill battle.
This is a big process. We are kind of in the infancy. I think we're looking at about 10 to 12 states right now, somewhere in there. Many more considering this.
Those against term limits insist stability in Congress is critical.
But what about that side of things, that the constant turnaround would actually be helpful?
I couldn't agree more, but 40 and 50 years of service gets a little beyond stability.
It seems fascinating to me that we are at a time in our nation's history where this is being discussed. They've got about a dozen states that are, if not on board, considering this.
You can get 12 states to sign on to a lot of things. Getting 30, which would get you close to the 2/3 that you need, that's a lot harder.
But a good way, he says, to get us all talking.
You know, I don't think democracy is going to go anywhere, but I think we need to get back to, the original design and intent of, our founding fathers, and that is for us to be citizen legislators.